Well, the balance after the first day of running in Abu Dhabi was pretty much the same. Red Bull, the slight edge. Again, quick on the straight. We've been seeing that all year, but the margins aren't quite as big as at the beginning of 2022. And Ferrari and Mercedes very, very evenly matched. I think from Mercedes' point of view, if you go back to say 3 weeks, 5 weeks, 10 weeks, you'd say, wow, that is impressive. Around Abu Dhabi, we're right up there with Ferrari and not far away from Red Bull. And another Mercedes win, absolutely not out of the question. Really, really quick through sectors 1 and sector 3. It's sector 2, of course, that is their problem. That involves that long back straight. And we'll get onto that straight away. Let's have a look now at the long runs in FP2 today. Max Verstappen, really good run. Look at how consistent he is. 30.1, 30.4, 30.3, 30.5. Top speed of 300. So you can imagine they're running quite a lot of wing. They're trading off some of their top speed advantage into that lap time, but a really, really good job by Max. George Russell, though, not far away, took 2 sets of mediums. So we need to bear that in mind on that long run. And you can see there the difference. It's about 4 kilometers an hour, and Lewis Hamilton backing that up, 295 in a straight line on average. George 296 compared with the 300 of Red Bull. But look at Ferrari, just about the same as Mercedes in everything they're doing. Indeed, you could say they're slightly slower, although that's a really good long run by Charles Leclerc. But to put that in perspective, look at Max's times again. Not one lap there really over 131, and Charles on average 31s, mid 31s, occasional high 30. So that is the difference around Abu Dhabi for Ferrari. They look pretty sharp. Charles Leclerc out on the track really quick early on in FP1 today. But bottom line is top speed is hurting them. They're obviously using more downforce than they would like. Lewis Hamilton did a relatively short run, but you can see his quickest lap, 30.3, just a shade slower than George. He was again just a shade slower than George when he was out most of the time today. So for Lewis, again, a weird weekend ahead of him. The car obviously pretty good here. If they get it right, they get a few other factors right and a few variables come their way, Lewis has a real chance of a great result. But how's he going to beat George Russell? That's going to be the big question. Carlos Sainz in the other Ferrari, not quite as impressive as Charles Leclerc, but a very good run nonetheless. And you can see there, I must point out, there's a slight misprint there. That should be 31.2 for Carlos Sainz on his third lap. And generally very consistent as well, but again, confirming the top speed disadvantage for Ferrari, if you like, 295 compared with the 300 of Red Bull. And that's the speed too that Sergio Perez is doing through the traps. 31.4, 30.8, 30.3 on his third lap. Again, not there with Max Verstappen, who appears at the moment to be in a class of his own. A great day for Max in reality, because he didn't run the car in the morning. That was given to one of the young drivers in the Red Bull fold, Liam Lawson, who did a pretty good job. But let's just have a look at that, because there were a lot of, I was going to say young drivers, we should call them guest drivers, because it includes dear old Robert Kubica, who looked pretty good, got to say, in the Alfa Romeo. And they're just the times they did this morning. Liam Lawson had a pretty good day. I mean, we don't often see young drivers having a trouble-free morning or afternoon. But there's Liam Lawson in the Red Bull. Pretty good lap time considering where the track grip level was this morning, 27.2. Robert Schwartzman also looked very impressive, I thought, in the Ferrari, 27.4. Robert Kubica doing a good job, as I say, 28.0 in the Alfa. Logan Sargent too, good lap time from him around Abu Dhabi, 28.0. He's got a big F2 race coming up this weekend, of course. If he finishes well, he's going to get his super license. He's going to get his Williams drive, all aligned for him. Pietro Fittipaldi, 28.2. And Pato O'Ward in the McLaren, 28.3, had a few dramas early on, appeared to be in the gearbox department. But all of them looked pretty good. It was nice to see all those young guys, well, different guys out there, I guess, in FP1. Another thing just to have a look at this morning in terms of FP1, this is before they've really sorted the car. The track hasn't got a lot of grip. Obviously, no Max Verstappen out this morning, as I say. And there you can see how good the Mercedes was out of the box, if you like, in sectors 1 and 3, 17.7, 31.9, compared with Sergio Perez, 17.8, 32.2. Okay, not realistic, but it gives you some idea of where they're at with the car. And if you look at sector 2, which involves that long straight, you can see how relatively off the pace Ferrari were this morning in terms of their times. Let's also have a look then at the top speeds from FP1 this morning. Quite significant, I think. Sergio Perez with the car not fully dialed in, 327, just flying out of the box. And then you see Mercedes and Alfa doing roughly the same times. And you can see again how relatively slow Ferrari were this morning. But if you compare their top speeds on their soft tyre runs this evening in Abu Dhabi, they all went out about the middle of the session about 5:30 as the sun was going down. Beautiful scenery around the circuit. Max was quickest 25.1, as you will have seen out there in terms of the times overall. 25.1, and his top speed 3.28, giving him a nice advantage, a nice cushion over Mercedes. George Russell was second, 25.4, 0.3 slower, and 3.23 in a straight line. Charles Leclerc, third quickest, 25.5, 3.21, so slower in a straight line than the Mercs, but nonetheless not bad on the overall lap. That kind of sums up the performances today, I think. Lewis Hamilton fourth, 25.7, 3.24 in a straight line, just about the same as George. Sergio Perez, 25.8, 3.23 in a straight line. Not as quick as Max, but expect more from him tomorrow. Maybe he's running slightly more wing than Max at this point. Carlos Sainz, 25.9, 3.23 in a straight line, significantly quicker in a straight line than Charles Leclerc, but again, that may signify differences in wing angles or the amount of downforce they're running at Ferrari. Alpine quickest of the rest. The Williams are really quick in a straight line, but in terms of the overall lap, you've got Esteban Ocon and Fernando Alonso both doing 26.0 and 3.25, 3.23 in a straight line, significantly quicker than McLaren, who do seem to have a problem with straight line here at Abu Dhabi. Lando Norris 26.3 and Daniel Ricciardo 26.1, but their top speeds were 3.20 and 3.15 respectively. So a lot of work for McLaren to do tonight. Well, potential work. I'm not sure they're going to be able to do much about it when you have a top speed deficiency like that. But a long day tomorrow, of course, as we go into FP3 and then qualifying. But the news from Abu Dhabi on Friday is that Red Bull are back. They haven't got the same problems they had at Interlagos, that is for sure. They're back basically where they've been all year. Really big advantage for Max Verstappen at the moment, and Mercedes continuing to show the way to Ferrari with really good runs by both Lewis and George Russell. Tomorrow, of course, is FP3 and qualifying. I'll be doing another video then and another one on race day. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Take care.